And then for folks who do take that leap, you decide happiness is more important than the corner office. Then this next feeling tends to creep in. Is it okay to want ease? So, this is the third question for today's episode. I feel guilty for wanting more ease in my business. Am I lazy? Hilary, I built my business from the ground up. It's profitable and I'm proud of it, but I'm tired. I keep dreaming about more space in my life, but every time I think about slowing down, I feel guilty. I feel like I should be hustling harder. Is that normal? Um, if it's not normal, then I'm not normal. I feel like every major transition in my business has been precipitated by this feeling on my part. So if this is you asking this question, if you wrote this question, if you're listening to this episode and you're asking this question, yeah, this is to be human. Nobody likes to feel like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. For many of us, we come out of college motivated, ambitious. If you didn't go to college, high school, whatever it is, we come into the work world motivated, ambitious. All you have is your time and resources, right? You got no money in the bank. You're not sure how much money you can make. You're not sure what you're worth in the marketplace. You're like, I'll trade anything. Very normal. And then you pick up a job, and then you pick up a romantic partner, and then you have a kid or two or three, and then maybe your mom or dad gets sick, and life gets really complicated. Life gets hard, and you're going to want to unburden yourself of some things. I think that we've definitely been taught that hustle, hard work translates to worthiness. I fall victim to this all the time. I sometimes find that I don't really want my team to know if I'm taking time off in the middle of the day because I'm afraid if they know that I need to rest, that they won't work. I mean, it's just crazy the things my brain tells me. That's why you have to check the perception, right? Is this an evidence assertion that my brain is telling me? Is my mind telling me reliable things? This is a conversation I have with myself often. So listen, bringing people in to do things, paying people a great wage and bringing them into my company to do things that I've been doing, and then inevitably discovering that in some cases they do it much better, is how a business grows. That's called the evolution and growth and scalability of a business. Redesigning your business or your schedule isn't a failure. That's progress, right? You want to move to elevate and ascend in terms of the things you're accountable for, what your perception is on, what you're managing. Unless your business is shrinking in size, you're managing a business every day that you don't know how to manage. Literally. So this saying, I wish it was more poetic, but it's new level, new devil. Every time your business grows, you got to solve new problems. And in businesses, mostly that means focusing on profits so that you make more money, more sums of money, so that you can continue to hire people and build a team and delegate off of your plate. That's how you know you actually have a business. If you've read The Entrepreneurial Myth, the E-Myth book, you know that a business is a machine that produces profit consistently. And if it's you that's producing the profit, you don't have a business, you have a job. In other words, lawyers charge 650 or 850 or $2,000 an hour because they don't have businesses. Technically, a lawyer has a job. And because they're the ones producing the work that they charge for, they have to charge an S ton of money because they also have to live. They have to go on vacation. They have to get their nails done. They have to take care of their kids. They have to sleep, right? And they have to make a good amount of money. And that's why pricing matters, but that's a different question. The hidden cost of your burnout is very real. Over the years, when my daughter was sick, I didn't know how to say no to things. Definitely was burned out. And my body is still suffering consequences. I am not the physical athlete that I was. I don't know if or when it will come back, but I'm working on it. But I have to acknowledge that me driving past what I felt was comfortable or what I was capable of for so many years. It hurt me. It hurt me, and it can hurt you too. And the truth is, now that I'm taking steps back, I can set my mind to work on more complicated questions. I can show up better on social media. Well, circling back to setting my mind to work on complicated questions, my mind solves complicated problems. And you can't do that when you're stressed, burned out, running from thing to thing, right? So time, space, white space on your calendar leads to more creativity, not less. So the only kind of tweak I would make in your mindset, if this is a question of yours, is set your intention that spending less time in your business actually leads to more money. There is no reason that can't be true. It just requires new thinking. So to go back to quotes, I don't think are very poetic, but there is a quote. I think this came from Brendon Burchard, and he said, "If you want something new has to come out of you." And so what you're asking for, if this is your question, is for something new to come out of you. And we assume that we're working so hard. And so if we want to work less, of course, that's going to mean less money. But the only thing that's required is different thinking, different agreements, different arrangements, different product lines, different profitable revenue streams, different ways that your team supports you, different people on your team, whatever that is, it's unique to you. But I wouldn't start with the assumption that working less necessarily means less money for you. Your business should be the golden road to an amazing lifestyle. It really should. Running a business is fun. It's hard. It's hard work, but it's fun, and it should give you the ability to engineer your life. So congratulations on having something exciting that you want to engineer, and just watch your assumptions as you go about redesigning the way that you work so that you can have the life you most want. All right. Thanks for listening to this episode. These are really the kinds of questions that move us from autopilot to intention, living a life of intention, right? So once you've articulated your calling, I mean, look, as you've been going along in life, you've naturally been making choices that align with your underlying principles and values. That's what we all do. And it aligned with your life the day you made that choice. The thing we don't give ourselves permission to do on a regular basis is reevaluate the list of obligations, promises, agreements, and encumbrances we've picked up over time. Okay. So that's one of the themes of today's questions, today's episode is permission to review, augment, edit, and delete. Whether you're just beginning to explore your calling or wondering if it's too late to change course, you're not alone in those reflections. And if something in your financial life feels off, it's worth listening to that nudge. Thanks for listening to this Ask Hilary episode of Love Your Money. Don't forget, you can send your own Ask Hilary questions to hello@hendershottwealth.com or just go to hendershottwealth.com/Ask Hilary. Until next time, keep loving your money so it can love you back.